don't like when people are disingenuous. I'm not gonna be disingenuous, and you can call me a pick me guy you want,
No,
but I'm
not
not
you.
gonna go on
I
this
said it
channel
sounds
and
like
say
if
I'm
she
gonna live
did
with a
that.
man and he
No,
gonna pay
if
all
she,
my bills. But when he asks me where I'm at, it's a problem.
Ali, I appreciate you taking up for me, but
You
I
mean
feel like
Katie?
he has good intentions, so I'm gonna listen.
he
But
don't, he don't. He wants to blame you. That's why he keeps beating around the bush. You said it's his fault.
Just let
Wait,
Aaliyah. Just
hold on.
let
I just
Ali
want to
go.
say
Just
what I
let
want
Ali
to
go.
say. Darwin came on the
What
show
you
talking
said?
about men don't listen, and he's the only group of men that's gonna listen. But then y'all say we choose wrong, and the majority of men, y'all need to mute. The majority of black men, they're not in jail. Like, wait a minute, which one is it? The majority of men don't listen, or the majority of men are good? Because you just came and admitted that most of y'all don't listen. And the thing is, you listen to rebut. You listen to argue. You don't listen to understand and repair what we're talking about. If we come to you with an issue as a leader, as a man, you're supposed to give us a solution, not whine and complain and point fingers.
But don't tell us
Wait a minute, I'm not done. And then you interject and don't even wait your turn, ignorant. And just because a man wants to marry a woman doesn't mean that he's going to make her happy. And we supposed to say, oh, well, at least he want to marry. This ain't 1974 where we got to marry the first man that comes along. If we don't like him, we don't have to be with him, Sweeney. I don't have to be with a man that want to marry me. I'm sorry to tell you, I'd rather be alone. I'd rather be single than to be miserable.
So you're rather.
Can I respond? My bad, Sweeney.
So the whole point wasn't to point out. We laid it all out right there. That's what I was just trying to point out an issue where if you walk things down, you will start to find the nuances and how relationships break down. And there's a reason why I asked the women who was the issue in that situation, because as a man, it's gonna fall on deaf ears. But if you let the women heard that story, they heard how that relationship fell apart, and even they can understand and say, damn, that doesn't make any sense. This don't make sense.
The way you ask the questions, though, the way you it's like when you say walk down, the way you ask the questions, it doesn't make sense for me. That like you could have asked different questions so you could get my perspective of it. But the way you asked the questions, it was like, yeah, it was going to seem problematic.
No, hold on, Ali. Ali.
Did he make you happy? Did you want to leave because he made you sad and you didn't see a future with him? Did you see a future with this man?
I saw a future with him if he was able to change certain ways, but because he couldn't change certain ways.
As he was, you didn't see a future. He had to change. See, we got to learn to accept people.
Hold on, wait.
Ali, the relationship should have been ended.
Ali, that's the thing.
Hold tight, Ali. Hold on, everybody. Let Sweeney finish.
Ali. So Danielle, that was the reason why I didn't ask you the questions. I asked you straight up what happened. I asked from your perspective. I asked for specific examples, and you gave us the examples that came to your mind. You said, well, he ain't my husband, so he can't tell me what to do. Okay.
No, okay.
Hold on. I said, okay, well, okay, he ain't your husband. Did he want to be a husband? Yeah. Now, if you want to talk about what is it that will make you happy in a marriage, we could talk about that.
No, that's not what I was saying. I was just saying, like, as far as you asked me what was the issue what was one of the issues in our relationship, it was my location. But my thing is, if I'm paying this phone bill, like, I feel like you're audacious to be asking me to do stuff with my phone. I pay the phone bill.
So I'm gonna ask you this. Do you think there are expectations? Did you have expectations of him as a man simply because he was with you, he was dating you? Y'all were in a household together, right? Y'all were cohabitating, right? Did you have certain expectations of him being in that household with you as your boyfriend? Not, oh, well, we both supposed to pay the light bill because we roommates.
Yeah, but a woman not supposed to pay bills inside of the house.
That's not what I asked. I said, were there expectations that you had of him inside that house?
Yeah.
Like what?
Pay the bills.
Besides that.
Listen.
Girl, how you gonna expect that man to pay your bills and he can't have your location? Do you hear how you
I
sound
was paying I said
on
pay the
Beyonce's
bill.
internet? Do you hear what you're saying on Beyonce's internet? You are
He was supposed to pay it before he asked for the location. Like,
one thing,
he was supposed to pay it before you asked. You don't ask before you
it was another reason. Like he wasn't satisfying you sexually.
No, you don't go and
I'm
give
just
a
jump
man
out the window and say there has to be
All right,
another.
y'all. All right, y'all. Can y'all let Sweeney?
some low budget pick me
Okay, can y'all let Sweeney and
Here's my
Danielle have it?
location. You don't pay my bills.
Ali,
That sound right. It don't sound right, girl. It wasn't the location.
Sound right. That sound like a pick me that won't.
No, I'm actually not a pick me. I'm actually very secure.
Whoa. Don't
even provide for
don't call
you.
her
So
a pick me, y'all. Don't do that.
Would
Don't do
you?
And then
literally.
I said,
Why
she
if the
just
man
made
don't do
provide
nothing for
her.
you, why are you giving him your location?
Ally, you know that doesn't make sense. I don't like when people are disingenuous. I'm not gonna be disingenuous, and you can call me a pick me all you want.
No,
but I'm
not
not
you.
gonna go on
I
this
said it
channel
sounds
and
like
say
if
I'm
she
gonna
did
live with a
that.
man and he
No,
gonna pay
if
all my bills. But when he asks me where I'm at, it's a problem.
He
That's
don't
being
pay the bills.
disingenuous.
She pay the bills. Y'all
She
put
just
things
said
in
he
the
paid
woman
the
know.
bills.
She said he did not. She said she paid it. She pays the
Did
bills.
she not say he paid the bills?
She said that she had to pay her own phone bill, so she had to pay the bills.
She
That's why I
paid the
asked her. That's why I asked her. Besides the bills, what other expectation did you have of him?
Listen,
Because hold on,
Ali, can you just
Ali, you like saving her right now.
Besides,
let Danielle,
let's keep it real. We live in a modern day society. We live in a modern day society, so we know when people cohabitate and we know how incomes are and all of that. That majority of the time, we're talking about an instance where both people are contributing to the household financially. I'm asking you because asking for your location is not a bill type of thing. So outside of paying bills, what expectations did you have of him as a man in the house with you as a boyfriend?
Dates, vacation, upkeep, like if I want to get my hair done, if I want to get my nails done, what else? Investing. It's really important that I get invested in as far as my business, like the money, like to start whatever business like I have going on or the ones I want to start up, like supporting that.
What about protection?
Hold on, Bruiser. No. Let her. I like the answers that she's giving. Okay, fair enough.
What else?
Yeah,
emotional intelligence is important. The ability to process your emotions, the ability to support. It's really important that like being a confidant, that's important. Like the ability to be able to hear me out, know how to emotionally regulate, know how to support my emotions. That's like really important to me. Security, like
so if I may, because that's a lot.
But the bills, I feel like the bills is like number one. I feel like if you in a relationship,
hold on, take the bills out of it because
it's hard to take the bills out of it because that's what. But I can't for the sake. Okay,
for the sake of argument, let's take the bills out of it.
Okay, I'll take it out.
Travel out of it.
Did he ever pay for your hair?
Yeah.
Was he ever there emotionally for you?
No, not really.
He never listened to you when you had issues.
Yeah. Not the way I feel like, yeah, so. It was 50-50.
What else did you mention? What was some other stuff that you mentioned?
I'm gonna let him sit and assassinate.
She wanted him to be soft.
Ali, I appreciate you taking up for me, but I feel like he has good intentions, so I'm gonna listen. But
he don't. He wants to blame you. That's why he keeps beating around the bush. You said it's his fault.
But Ali, Danielle says she's okay with it. Ali.
I'm okay with it for now. I'll put it in the chat if I'm not.
Okay. So what was his expectations of you?
They were unrealistic. All of them.
Okay, let me hear it.
The location.
Okay, location.
That was one.
Was that number one or was that the one? Was that the one or was that one of them?
What else? Cooking. He wanted me to cook.
Did he cook?
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
What else?
Cooking was unrealistic.
Hold on, Bruiser. Let
A woman cooking for you that's not your wife is unrealistic, obviously.
But you
That's
want
what
him
I'm
to
saying.
pay the bills.
Hold on, wait a minute, Bruiser. Hold on. We're talking about a relationship where he didn't pay all the bills. That's why I'm talking
he
about all
didn't
the
pay.
intangibles.
He didn't pay my. It's like he didn't pay my bills, but he paid all the bills. If that makes sense.
Hold on. All right. Hold on. Wait a minute. I'm not even gonna touch that real quick. I'm not. Hold on, Aisha. I'm not even gonna touch that. I just want to stick on. I just want to stick to the intangibles.
What bills did he pay?
I don't know.
Were y'all living together?
Yeah.
Hold on,
We were
Aisha.
living together.
When you want to finish because we do got to get in white back into the conversation, y'all. So that's when you go ahead.
I said he was paying.
No, Isha. Let's go ahead and let Sweeney finish it real quick.
That's why I'm trying to keep it to the intangibles because expecting your location is an intangible. So you said you wanted him to cook. I mean, he wanted you to cook.
Yeah.
He cooked. What else did he expect of you? And then he wanted your location. What else did he expect of you?
What time I came in the house, who I was with when I was outside of the house, telling him where I'm at, just all stuff. If I'm like,
all right, let me ask you a question. Did he tell you any of those things?
I didn't ask.
But did he tell you?
Yeah, sometimes, but like I feel like he was telling me that so I would tell him where I was at.
How do you know that?
I said I feel like.
I get that. So you assumed his intentions and never asked him?
Communication.
I told him, like, when he'd be like, what's the problem? I'm like, I don't do that when you out. I don't, where you at, what you doing, where you going?
No. I'm saying, when I say you assumed his intentions, when I asked you, did he do those things for you? You said, yeah, but I think he only did it because he wanted me to do it.
That's not an assumption. If you know the person you're in a relationship with, that's not an assumption. That makes it fact.
Did you ever ask him?
No, because I already knew. Do you ever ask people the stuff that you know?
Yes.
Let me interrupt real quick.
No, yes, I do, because I don't assume people's intentions, because maybe if you just asked him, he would just tell you that's something that he normally does.
But it wasn't something that I wanted to do, so it didn't make sense for me to ask.
Let me interrupt, and this will be the last question. Let's just let her off the hook, bro, so we can move on. I'm just gonna ask this one question. When you do go out, Danielle, you ain't gotta answer yes or no. If you don't answer, we'll just move on. When you go out, did you hang out in the nightlife, and do you consume alcohol?
Yeah.
You do. Mm-hmm. That's it. No need to ask her any questions.
What's the problem? When you hang out, do you not drink? When you go outside, do you not drink?
Ultimately, what I'm gonna say here, Danielle,
but I feel like for him to frame that question, when he hangs out,
I'm gonna explain why he asked you that question. He framed that question that way because generally when we have women that tend to go out, we tend to want that type of information because they are out there drinking, because they are out there in the nightlife, because it can be dangerous out there. So he may have actually cared, or I ain't gonna tap into that. I ain't gonna say that he was necessarily worried about who you were doing what with, but no. I'm gonna approach it from the safety standpoint.
She was in the streets, bro.
But you are the same person that's in the streets too. So I feel like it doesn't. You literally, I asked you. I said, "Do you drink when you go out?" You didn't answer, but I answered your question. So that's like, it doesn't make sense the way you frame the question to get an answer and then like
all she gotta do is go read her transcript, and she'll see why everybody is so confused.
Danielle, you turn your homework in late. We're gonna give you a pass on that. But let's get back. Let's get it in work.
I'm giving her an F.